Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first ever Game Boy Game Awards. I'm Xenotra Gaming, and here's your host, Adam the Game Boy.
Thank you, Xenotur Gaming. And yes, this is our awards for the best games of 2018. I am here with Nintendo Dope Man and Xenotur Gaming from their respective channels. We are going to go around and share our top picks for a few categories, and then what we each think were the best 3 games of this year. Then you all, the audience and viewers, will get to vote on Twitter to crown the ultimate winners. So please vote. Let's save the game of the year talk for last, and jump into the game with the best music. Nintendo Man, what do you have?
Um, I guess Ultimate because it comes with like 900 tracks and you can listen to it on the go.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, yeah, it wasn't really a whole lot of like insane music in games this year, you know. Red Dead is pretty quiet, you know. A lot of them are pretty open world and like they kind of go with the realistic, just kind of being quiet route. Yeah. And like you know, Super Smash Brothers games always have unique arrangements on classic songs with like a full orchestra.
Yeah, I was actually listening to it the other day to make sure because this was actually what I had for the best music. I was verifying that I was absolutely right on this. And the Donkey Kong music, like in particular, like all of those remixes are like dope.
Yeah, they are.
I'm stealing your thunder.
I'm gonna be honest, I think Smash Brothers is just picking that's kind of cheating because it has so much music from so many different series.
Yeah, that's true.
A little bit. So Xenoture, what do you have?
The World Ends With You Final Remix.
Oh yeah, that's a good
It's
one.
kind of cheating, also, man. It's not a new game. It's not a 2018.
It's a remake on the Switch. Everything is new to me on that.
Did it have new music though?
I think so. Might have. I haven't played
Counts.
the game. I haven't played the game yet, but I know from as a fact that every track on there is going to be good.
Okay, so since you took mine with Smash Brothers, my alternate pick was Mega Man 11. Is like the Wily theme. That's one of the best Wily themes in Mega Man in the entire Mega Man series. And like so many of the other tracks are just great.
You know what else had good music was I didn't play it, but Octopath Traveler. That was really good.
Yeah, I might put that in just to like round up to 4 because that's what Twitter supports. Well, let's move on to the best indie then. Xenoture, what do you have for the best indie game?
RimWorld.
RimWorld?
Yes, it's been out for a really long time, but it counts as a 2018 release since it just reached 1.0 this year. So yeah,
Isn't that the one that you did as like some LP videos or walkthrough videos?
yeah, I made a few videos. I intend on going back to it at some point. I just want to brush up on my editing skills before I go back.
Yeah, I understand that. Nintendo Man, do you have something for best indie game?
I was gonna say Celeste because I really enjoyed it, but but since it won Best Indie at the actual awards, I feel like that would just be like. And I actually did think of that before when we were discussing what we were gonna do. But since it won the actual award, I'm just gonna go with Faye, which I also really liked.
Yeah, that's the one that's like a. It looks like the main
There's
character
a little
is Ori.
animal. Yeah, yeah, kind of. Yeah,
Three-dimensional, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was on my radar, but I overlooked it.
Definitely check it out. It's
The
interesting.
one I had for best indie was The Longest 5 Minutes, which, for all intents and purposes, is Mother 4. Like, Itoi has this quote where he's like, the successors of the Mother series will be games that were inspired by the actual Mother games. And more than any game I've ever seen, The Longest 5 Minutes was clearly inspired by Mother, or Earthbound.
More than Undertale.
Absolutely.
Really? That's the one where it's like you're at the final boss in the last like minute, and then you like have a flashback to the rest of the game. Is that what that one was?
Yeah, it's like a bit of a mashup of like Phoenix Wright and then Earthbound, hardcore Earthbound.
That's cool. I remember seeing that in one of the directs, and thinking that looked really interesting, kind of meta. You might have to check it out now that you said it was that good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, don't go in expecting like an epic RPG, but if you're looking for something that's like wacky, has like some surreal points to it,
Some abstract
that-
stuff. Okay.
yeah, something that gets like really emotional.
Oh, I do love that. I love a good story. I actually prefer that over RPG stuff and turn-based combat.
Yeah. The next one we have is the best MIDI game, or mid-level game. A game that's not AAA, but is an indie.
Does Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze count though? As like a mid-tier? It's not. I mean, it is a port, and I guess it's a AAA. But I mean, AAAs
Kinda,
are so huge and ambitious, and like usually open world these days. That like a little side-scrolling Donkey Kong game kind of seems like at first glance like a mid-tier. But it is really good, and it's packed with like all these collectibles, and you get to play as like, you know, Cranky and Funky, which is new, and the level design is insane. It's really challenging.
Yeah, that's kind of subjective whether that would qualify as a mid-level game or a AAA game. It kind of
Yeah.
would just depend on your perspective. Well, what I had was Atelier, Ladi, and Suel, which I have a review up about it. It's a game about alchemy where you basically have to craft all your weapons, armor, items. And it's like, it's just good. It's good if you like a game that you can just kind of casually play.
Would Slime Rancher count as like a mid-tier game? Because I'm not sure if it's.
I'm not sure if I'm familiar with that, but I would say probably.
Yeah, I would say Slime Rancher in this category. I don't really know when it came out, but like I think it came out sometime last or this year. But yeah, it's just a game where you farm slimes and fuse them together, and they take their produce to get money to then go out and adventure.
Hey, would you count Spyro as a MIDI?
I would kind of count it. It would kind of be in the same boat as Donkey Kong.
Right? Yeah, I was thinking of
Yeah,
changing.
I'd say that Spyro's like a veteran mid-tier that's kind of ascends his way upwards.
Well, in that case, if it's in the same boat as Donkey Kong, I'll just change my answer to that because I enjoyed the hell out of that. I don't even have a PS4. I sometimes play like, if like a game really looks good to me, I'll play it on my brother's PS4, and like I could not wait for that one to come out for the Switch, which I am guessing it will eventually, and I can't wait for that. Judging by Crash and.
Yeah, hopefully.
But yeah, that was great.
I'm more interested in just Spyro myself than Crash.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Not
definitely.
that Crash is bad, but
It's just like a 3D side scroller in some ways, and like Spyro's more of 3D platformer.
it's Sonic's butt.
Yeah.
The next category we have is the best debut, whether series or the developer. Nintendo Man, what do you have for this?
Nothing.
Or do you have something?
Nothing. No. I didn't really play any like brand new IPs this year.
Well, Xenocher, what do you have for that?
Maybe Death Coming.
Well, what is Death Coming? I don't think I've heard of that.
Basically, I don't know if this was the first game that the studio made, but it seems like it. But basically, I think it's sort of like this game where you try to your character died, and the Reaper's saying, "Do my job," and that you can come back to life. Imagine The Sims, but the whole point's just to kill everyone, and there isn't really any characters. You just sort of just tap on objects to try and kill people when they get into the right position to kill the most people.
That's cool.
That sounds kind of interesting.
Yeah, I found it on Steam and it looked kind of neat.
What I have is actually a double that's both a first series and a first for the developer, which is Yoku's Island Express by Villa Gorilla,
That sounds neat.
The pinball game.
which is like the Metroidvania pinball game.
Yeah, you were talking about that a while ago.
Yeah, and it was a good game. It
Right on.
it had some tedious points, but it was still good. And it had like this weird, creepy art style. The next category we have is Best DLC. Do one of you have something for that?
The Octo expansion.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm glad you didn't mention mine. The Donkey Kong expansion for Mario and Rabbids.
Oh, that's a good one too. I
Yeah.
didn't think about any of those.
The the Octo expansion though, like that, I was really resisting getting into Splatoon because I don't care for multiplayer games and I definitely don't care for shooters. But when they did the trailer for that one, the music was really interesting. So then I kind of like looked it up after.
Yeah, the Octo expansion is like it's what completes Splatoon 2. So I highly recommend it. If you're not into multiplayer games, then just get Splatoon and the Octo expansion.
That has like 80 missions in it, huh? It's like the bulk of the single player content is in that game or in the expansion, the DLC.
Well, I mean, the bulk of the single player content is like you get single player content with the game, but I mean, it's like kiddie play. Octo expansion, that's where the grown ups gonna play.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll have to check it out then. Maybe I'll wait for a little longer for them to come out with like the Splatoon 2, the definitive edition.
I mean, right now they're kind of selling Splatoon 2, and they're bundling it in with like this little guide for these like $60. Buy either a Splatoon without it or buy a Splatoon with it, and they're both $60. So I mean, one's a bargain and one's less of a bargain, but yeah.
I don't really need a guide though. I was thinking about the DLC.
I know, but like it's just more stuff.
Yeah. I guess I could sell the guide on eBay and then use that to pay for the DLC.
True.
What I had for this category was Torna, the Golden Country.
Oh,
Is a better game than Xenoblade 2. And Xenoblade 2 is a good game. It's a great game. But Torna is just like, it's so much better.
I intend on getting it, but at some point have yet to do it. And I've yet to finish Xenoblade 2. I'm so close to the end, I'm like chapter 9 or 8, and I just forgot to finish it.
And just to round this up to 4 for Twitter, I'll throw in an alternate pick of Star Allies. Because it released, and then they just kept putting out DLC consistently. Free DLC. That's how you do DLC.
For free.
Yeah.
What we have up next is the best console editions of 2018, or the console that had the most things that made it a must-buy or must-own in 2018. Nintendo Man, what would you say? What platform do you think had the best things that make it something that you need to own?
Well, if you're going by E3, then I would say the PS4 because they showed, what was it, Spider-Man, The Last of Us 2, and Death Stranding, and like some other game. But those aren't even coming. Oh, Spider-Man came out this year, but the other ones don't come out till next year. So it made the PS4 look really good to own, but just not for this year, just for next year. I guess for this year, I don't really care about Xbox. So I guess the Switch. I mean, it's got Octopath, it's got Smash, had the Pokemon Let's Go. What else? Undertale, like a whole bunch of stuff. Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, for me it's also the Switch.
Yeah, for me it's also a Switch, but for a different reason. Because you see, the way you worded it said it had the most things, not necessarily games. And the Switch definitely has a lot of add-ons. Like they were even bringing back those Wii tennis rackets for Switch Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
Does that really make the Switch something that you need to own though?
It doesn't make it something you need to own, but it's an addition to the console itself. But I mean, the games are what make it what you need to own. But these additions just are what some people want it to be.
I guess you could throw Labo in for that reason.
Yeah, this year had like a ton of great games drop too for Switch. And like Nintendo Man was saying, PS4 may have had like some really impressive games at E3, but who knows when some of them are coming out? They're not coming out in 2018. They don't count.
Yeah, and the PS4. I mean, like, only cheapos play PS4. I'm pretty sure I'm making people angry here, but like, honestly, there's two companies that have exclusives that are pretty good these days, and that's PS4 and Nintendo Switch. But there's only one of them I intend on playing. That's Nintendo Switch, and I'm hoping Persona 5 comes to the Switch at some point.
Yeah, there's that rumor.
There's that hope.
I mean, just the fact that like that fighter came to Smash, that seems even more unlikely than a port of a game. So
I mean, like, let's save that for another discussion video.
Also, just don't worry because I'm gonna put in all three consoles. So even though we all unanimously said Switch, you will have the chance to vote for all three consoles, and I might throw in PC too. In the
So
actual poll.
use your American right to vote right now.
Yeah, be sure to vote when you're done watching this video. The next category we have is Best Company. Xenoturd, what do you have as the best company of 2018?
I will always say Nintendo, and underneath that will be most likely either the what was it? I think it's Noise or something. I forgot the name. And underneath that, other.
Would you really always say Nintendo? Like even company like 2016, 2015, also Nintendo?
I'm going to be honest. I'm only going to be voting for things I've actually experienced.
Oh, okay.
But if you're talking about 2015 and 2016, I had Xbox 360 then. So, yeah, it would have been a bit different.
Has Noise even done anything in 2018?
No. I mean, I think they might have released a Dragon Quest mobile app, but I mean, like, in the end, I'm still voting for them because you gotta get that name out somehow.
Nintendo Man, what do you have as the best company?
Nintendo. You know, it was not as good as last year, but that's a hard one to follow, and it was still great this year. And like, Smash kind of capped it off. It doesn't feel like the whole year has been great because Smash came out right at the end, but it makes the whole year great. Oh, sorry, I forgot we're not supposed to swear.
I'll have to bleep that out.
Don't worry, we I think we might have like a unique filter for that. Maybe. Do we?
I'll have to think of something. My pick is Monolith Soft, which I'm not going to count that as Nintendo. I'm counting them as like their own company, their own studio.
For what?
And just like what they did with the Torn of the Golden Country DLC. That DLC is so massive, and all the other stuff that came with it. Like they're a paragon of how you do DLC. So I'm putting them up. They're the best company of 2018, in my opinion.
Renegade for life.
The next thing we have is the opposite. The worst company of 2018.
Sony.
Nintendo Man. Do you have something for this?
I guess EA.
Never mind. He has a better pick.
Why do you have EA?
They just never have anything for me. Well, actually, that's not fair. I did say Faye was the indie of the year for me. But like, I don't know. They usually just come out with like these sports games and nothing really that lights up the show. You know, I would usually put Xbox in this category, just because I don't care for Xbox, which isn't really fair. They should just be neutral to me. I just don't really care about them. But I was actually kind of impressed with the Crackdown, or what was it called? It was like a future. It was like a future cyberpunk kind of game, open world game that they.
Yeah, that sounds like Crackdown.
No, isn't Crackdown already like a series that they have?
Crackdown is like a future cyberpunk cop game.
But no, this was like a new thing they showed at E3. I think.
I don't know. I mean, like, Crackdown just seems to fit the bill. I mean, I played the first Crackdown. Pretty good.
Well, what about you, Xenotur? What company is the worst for you? Because I think I heard you start to say mine.
I originally said Sony because of the crossplay incident, but like A part of me wants to say Square Enix because they're not sharing their IPs that well, and another part of me wants to say EA because they're lazy and they put half effort into everything, all because they just treat their employees like crap, and they just want to what was it? And they just try to push out the same game every year with a different color paint when they should be trying to make a quality game when quality is better than quantity.
That's pretty much it.
Which part of you would you say is bigger?
I want to say EA because they have so many good games underneath their belt. Wait, no, Microsoft, because Microsoft owns EA, and Microsoft has to be the root of the EA. That means Microsoft is the worst company because Microsoft basically has EA under its thumb, I think.
Does Microsoft own EA?
I don't think they own it. I think it's more along the lines of they kind of are like the main producers of everything.
A lot of EA stuff comes out on PlayStation, though.
Never mind, I'm completely wrong. So yeah, it would have to be EA because of I was trying to connect Banjo-Kazooie to EA and I was completely wrong.
That's rare. This guy.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, that game was Cyberpunk 2077. It's not Crackdown. It's like an upcoming game.
Oh.
But yeah, EA definitely get their beep together.
Well, my worst company is Sony for the Fortnite shenanigans and locking a third-party account that they have no ties to.
That's a good pick. It's a good pick. Usually it's Nintendo that does like crappy business decisions like that. This time it was Sony. And Nintendo actually stopped their YouTube. They cut the YouTube creator program. Now they're just letting YouTubers do what they want. That's a big move.
Yeah, and Sony's even getting into like censorship stuff now too.
The only thing Nintendo really needs to do is work on wireless stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I don't even like online, but I get that online is huge, and a lot of people do, so they do gotta fix that. But it doesn't really affect me.
Like that's the only flaw Nintendo has over the competition.
Yeah.
My runner-up for this was Nintendo for their Nintendo Online, but I mean, like, Nintendo also, like you said, they did away with the YouTube thing. Like, YouTube's free as far as Nintendo goes now.
Nintendo can't be the best and the worst.
Well,
they can be though, because they kind of are. And like, they're not going to do they might not do a virtual.
No, I mean, do they want to be the worst?
I don't think so, but I mean, Nintendo's a crazy company.
Yeah, I mean, like, I just wonder what's going on in there every day, because I get confused about what's going on. Like when we get an announcement that confuses the world, I start thinking, what happened at Nintendo to make this happen?
Miyamoto.
They're just thinking up ways like, how can we make people hate to love us? How can we make it harder for people to love us? Let's not do a virtual console. Let's do a subscription thing with a crappy online service. But the most amazing games that you won't be able to play on it.
The only thing I want out of this is them to translate custom Robo and put it onto this little thing.
Man, you must have felt so cheated when they made the one fighter you wanted as a. I think it was a spirit or like just like a costume.
They made him they made him a spirit and a me costume, but not his trophy. But like that gives me a little bit of hope, because if he's not an assist trophy, that means he could become a fighter.
Nah,
maybe.
It's a possibility.
I want to say he has a shot, but
he has a better shot than Isaac.
Yeah.
At least for now, because Isaac is an assist trophy.
Gotta pull for Felix.
Everybody wants.
Our next category is the best developers of 2018. Like a development studio or a particular developer that did something really impressive, or stands as a paragon. Do either of you have anything for this?
Who made Smash Ultimate?
Sakurai and Sora.
And also Bandai Namco, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody made Smash Brothers, pretty much.
So basically, the team behind that.
That's a good one. What about you, Nintendo man? Do you have something?
Smash was my answer, so yeah,
Okay.
Nintendo and Sora and Bandai Namco.
The worst part about the actual Game Awards is that Ultimate came out the very next day, so it couldn't have been a pick for the Game Awards.
Yeah, and I want to say that I'm sorry to all of the games that are released after this, but I mean, you got to cut it off at some point. I wanted to stretch this as far into December as possible to catch all of those December games, but there's a point that you can't. Mine, though, is Masashi Takahashi, the developer of Octopath Traveler, who said the released version is the final product. He stands as
Yay!
a paragon of not nickeling and diming like EA did last year.
Wait. What if there's a game-breaking bug? Will they have to do an update?
I guess they would, but what he was talking about is the content is final. It's a complete product.
Okay. I was just looking for a loophole in his logic.
Our final category before the Game of the Year is Best Looking 2019 Game, the game that we're most anticipating. Nintendo man, what are you most anticipating next year?
Right now it's possibly The Last of Us 2, assuming that comes out next year. Something that I know for sure is coming out next year, I'm probably really excited for Luigi's Mansion 3 the most. But this answer could change because obviously we know less about next year than what we do know.
Yeah, I'll probably put the one that we know for sure is next year in the poll.
Yeah, so I guess Luigi's Mansion 3.
Who knows with Sony? Who knows when they're gonna release their thing?
Yeah,
It could be 2025.
I doubt it that's far away, but yeah.
It could be a PS6 game.
It could be a PS27 game.
What about you, Xenotur? What are you most looking forward to?
Okay, my most anticipated game of next year. It's in March. Begins with an F and ends with an E.
I'm trying to think of a funny.
Is it Faye? Hold on.
I know what you're talking about. Fire Emblem, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't
Honestly, I was
Oh, wait,
going,
like the subtitle or something? Okay.
I didn't realize. Basically, it's Fire Emblem Three Houses, but I didn't realize that the word house ends with an E. And I was trying to be subtle about it. Begins with an F, ends with an E. And then I just realized F-E, Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
And I just spelled it right out.
Well, what I'm most looking forward to is Bloodstained: Ritual of the Night, which I don't think they're gonna delay it again. I know it was supposed to be a 2018 game, and they delayed it, but I think it has to be 2019. I feel confident in it being 2019 this time.
And just for me to throw this out there, I will also be anticipating the next Custom Robo game, but every Custom Robos fan is anticipating the next Custom Robo game.
Yeah, and my runner-up for that would be Home, which I may put on there as just a round out for the poll. Now, let's get to the Game of the Year. Xenotur, what is your third best game, in your opinion?
It always has to be Custom Robo Arena. I know it came out in 2007, but I mean, I have to shove it in somewhere.
Yeah, but in 2018.
Okay, I'm gonna be, in all seriousness, I'm gonna say RimWorld.
That's fair. What about you, Nintendo man?
Alright, I guess the third best would be Spyro. I know I picked that for the mid-tier game, but I'm gonna throw it in. If we're gonna do 3 picks for Game of the Year, then that's my third place.
Yeah, my third place is Mega Man 11. It's a less ambitious game, but it's still a great Mega Man game, and Mega Man games are great. Well, Nintendo man, what is your second?
Red Dead 2, definitely.
Yeah. Septendo couldn't make this discussion, but that was one of the ones that he put in that I would have put in. Just for him.
Yeah, that game impresses the hell out of me. And mostly, I mean, I'm really not into like westerns and cowboys and all that, but Rockstar can't make a bad game, and they can even take a theme you don't like and make a great game out of it. But most of all, it makes me excited for Grand Theft Auto 6 because this is like overwhelming.
And Xenotur, what is your number 2 game for 2018?
My number 2 game, Starlink Battle for Atlas.
Oh, that's a good pick. I didn't play it, but it's something that's on my radar.
I haven't either, but like I'm judging it based on what I've seen. It's basically on a Christmas list right now, and I really want to play it just because of the Star Fox content.
I have Smash Brothers Ultimate as my number 2.
Twist.
What a twist! Are you really Are you about to shove in Okami as number 1?
No,
We got
I'm
an
not.
iconoclast over here.
I think if you think, you know what my number 1 is. You know
Is
what
it
I'm gonna do.
Iconoclast? Because that's a game that came out this year, and that's what you're being right now.
Wait, what did you say?
Iconoclasts. That's a game that came out this year, and that's what you're being right now. You know
Oh,
what an iconoclast
that's on my
is,
radar
right?
though.
Yeah, it looked interesting.
Do you both have the same number 1?
I thought we all did, man. Thought we
I
all
think
did.
so. I thought we all did.
Is it my number 2?
Yeah, it's definitely Smash.
Yeah, it
And
is.
Nintendo Man, is it my number 2?
Yep.
Well, I had to deviate. My number 1 is Torna, the Golden Country.
Oh.
That's a DLC.
Yeah, but it's like a new game. As far as I'm concerned, it counts. It's a new game.
You could
And
say the
it's DLC.
same for Saints Row God of Hell, but that felt more like a DLC than a game.
It's a DLC
Yeah,
and a new
I'm
game.
not counting that, man. I'm not gonna. I know this is a podcast, but I'm not gonna count
I
that.
don't think that counts.
Well, it's my number 1. Septendo also listed Pokemon Let's Go, so I'll put that on the poll as well.
I did really enjoy that. And like a lot of the stuff I wanted to happen to Pokemon, it happened. Like they got rid of random encounters, and you can like see Pokemon outside, like they're more like living creatures.
Wait, you can see Pokemon outside? What, can I go catch a Charizard in real life?
Outside of the battle screen.
Sorry, I thought that would be a funny joke.
Yeah, honestly, Pokemon Let's Go was one of my runners-up. You had picked Smash Brothers before I got to it, which I guess if you want, you guys can have a runner-up.
I might. I just gotta think about it.
I'm glad Fortnite wasn't mentioned once in this entire discussion.
I mean, it's an ongoing game.
Yeah,
it doesn't
it's an old
count.
game. It's like Warframe. Like, you can't put it on there.
Oh yeah, Warframe. That'll be a runner-up.
But we can't put it on there because it's an old game.
Wait, that's old?
Unless we're talking about like the new campaign that came out this year.
I thought that Warframe was a new game.
No, I think it's been around since like 2015 or something.
I literally tried to play. I literally didn't know the game was free to play until I was browsing the eShop because all the advertisement for it said ninjas play free, and I'm not a ninja. And I also thought ninjas were something like a term for someone who played the beta. Oh, I don't even know what to put on here then.
It's
Probably
fine
have
if you
something.
don't come up with something. We'll have enough to put on a poll.
Huh. Can I just say the DLC Octo expansion as my runner-up?
Sure. Is it basically like a new game as well?
It's kind of like it's not like Torna, but it basically makes a Splatoon 2 complete.
Yeah, I could put that on there.
I still can't believe that you put Smash Ultimate as number 2.
I think we've pretty much finished this best games of 2018 discussion video. So, where can people find you, Nintendo Man?
You can find me on YouTube at NintenDopeman.
And what about you, Xenotur Gaming? I mean, it's obvious, but
Dun, 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 dun. You can find me at da 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 da. Why am I doing this? So you can find me at Xenotrue Gaming.
If I ever need hold music, I'm gonna hire you for that.
Honestly, I was trying to do the Rick roll thing, like Rick Astley.
Okay, now let's kill Craig. Let's kill him for real this time, but not permanently.
Bye, Craig.
We might need to record again.